Coming up next on Win Local News, Buffalo River's phone tower switched on. RACV Drive School urges caution on teens learning to drive, and Murray United defeats Nunawading City.
On the border and across the northeast, this is Win News.
Tonight, Buffalo River residents celebrate finally being better connected. Victorian police crack down on thefts at the Bowser, and young drivers urged to be more vigilant on country roads. Good evening, I'm Amy Duggan. Also tonight, how you could get your hands on $100 million. Buffalo River residents are now much better connected with the switching on of a new mobile phone tower. After a long 10-year wait, it's hoped the coverage will help the community feel safer during emergencies.
Better coverage has been a long time coming for these Buffalo River residents. Hooray! The community coming together to celebrate the opening of a new mobile phone tower. The latest phone tower is the 19th of 38 to be switched on across the northeast. Sione Kelly, Win News.
Petrol thieves are under the pump, with police now investigating all fuel drive-offs. Previously, an investigation was only launched if there was evidence of a criminal offence, but now the policy's been reversed to better help victims.
There's been a spike in thieves at the Bowser.
It seems to be a growing trend across the state, in fact, that petrol drive-offs have increased.
Previously, police only got involved if there was evidence of a criminal offence, including a stolen car or fake number plates.
The RACV Drive School is urging caution among teen drivers, with too many young lives lost on our state's roads each year. It says professional lessons are an important part of the road to young driver safety.
For young learner driver Robert Emerson Jones, the journey behind the wheel first began with his parents.
Mum was a bit more nervous than me, I reckon, but it weren't too bad in the end.
But fast forward to today and he's in expert hands. John Nelder, Win News.
A 39-year-old man found in possession of drugs during a joint police operation has become the first person to be processed at the new Corryong police station. The man was arrested by Corryong police on Friday night. A cannabis caution was administered. The drugs were seized for destruction. A luxury accommodation and day spa centre in Corowa is hoping to boost the Murray region's reputation as a high-end destination. Circa 1936 was among a handful of local businesses to win gold at the New South Wales Regional Tourism Awards.
It's simple elegance. An Art Deco building on the main street of Corowa transformed into a luxury accommodation centre.
The rejuvenation of Rutherglen's streetscapes underway, with hopes the $1.8 million project will boost tourism. New pavers and street furniture's been installed along Main Street, while works near the Hopetown Road wine bottle are also underway. The Lake King precinct is the next stage. Works should be finished mid-next year. It's the end of the line for one of Victoria's most iconic and enduring candy manufacturers. Castlemaine Rock's been making boiled lollies since the days of the gold rush, but its fortunes have finally run dry.
This Goldfields candy's been mixed and eaten in the same way for 165 years.
The rock originated when my great-great-grandfather, Thomas Shinkfield Barnes, came out from England.
Now on the market, it's hoped the company will remain in local hands and continue to roll out the loved candy. Tyrone Kennedy, Win News.
Coming up next on Win News, pressure starts to build on Bill Shorten, in danger of an historic loss. And $100 million up for grabs, how you could take home a wad of cash. Welcome back to Win News. Now we'll take a look at what's making national and international headlines. At least 2 people have died and more than a dozen others have been injured after a shooting attack in Toronto. Police have confirmed the shooter is among the dead. Liberal Simon Ramsey quits as Parliamentary Secretary after being caught drink driving. Pressure is starting to build on Bill Shorten as polls reveal Labor looks set to lose 2 seats at this Saturday's round of by-elections. Gillian McLaughlin's dismissed radical calls to segregate footy fans after another violent brawl. And watch out, Melbourne. New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian unveils plans to chase 10 major sporting events for Sydney over the next decade. And in sport, Francesco Molinari becomes the first Italian to win a golf major, taking out the British Open. News agencies and other lottery ticket suppliers expect to be inundated this week with $100 million up for grabs in 3 separate draws. 1 in 5 Aussie adults are expected to buy a ticket, hoping to become overnight millionaires.
Wouldn't it be nice to win the lotto?
I would go buy a house, I'd buy a car. I'd spend it all.
Young Australians are now happier than they've been in 10 years. A new study's found those aged between 18 and 25 feel more financially secure and better connected.
A survey of more than 60,000 Aussies revealed young adults are increasingly satisfied with their lives.
The progression of opportunities.
Sports next, where Wodongas had a big win in the Ovens and Murray Footy League. I'll have the details next. And Murray United breaks its drought in a nail-biter against Nunawading City. In sport, Wodongas shaken an underdog title to claim an upset win over North Albury. The 2-goal win was sweet revenge for the Bulldogs, who went down by a point after the siren in their last encounter with the Hoppers.
It was a heated game at the Hoppers' home ground. Wodonga's 1-point loss in their last game still biting, North Albury pushing to make finals. And the game lived up to expectations. In the remaining games, Wodonga Raiders ran away with a win against Lavington. Wang Rovers held their own for much of the game against Yarrawonga before the Pigeons kicked away in the final term. And Corowa Rutherglen was kept goalless in the last half against Wangaratta, the Pies coming away with a 119-point smashing of the Roos. Mark Blackman, Win News.
To soccer, and Murray United's broken its drought, winning its first game in 11 weeks against Nunawading City. A late goal from Zach Walker got the team over the line in the nail-biting victory.
A cracking goal gives Murray United its first win in 11 weeks.
In O&M netball, Albury is back in the top 5 for now. The Tigers had a convincing win over Myrtleford and now sit on the same points as Corowa Rutherglen, leading the Roos by percentage.
The Tigers are back in the hunt for finals. Strong defensive pressure, all too much for the developing Myrtleford side. Other games, the Rovers gave Yarrawonga a huge scare, going down by only 3 goals, while the Roos have slipped out of the top 5 on percentage after their loss to the Magpies. Alice Polner, Win News.
That is tonight's sport. We'll check out all the weather details now with Chris Polzot. And a sunny start to the week, but some rain on the way, Chris.
That's right, Amy. It's not likely to be a heavy downpour across the week, but there's still the chance of a shower or two. I'll have details right here after the break.
This report brought to you by Falls Creek, where you can adventure your way.
Welcome back. Daytime temperatures were a couple of degrees above the July average in most places. Tonight's weather shot is from Chris, a shot of the storm heading over Wangaratta last week. Top work there, Chris. Thank you very much. If you've got a weather photo and you want to see it on the screen, you can send it through to us at weather@wintv.com.au. Let's look at some details from around the region today. The mercury slipped to -2 in Albury-Wodonga just before sunrise, and humidity was sitting on 98%. But not to be outdone, Wangaratta endured a frostier start of -3 before sunrise, but it felt more like -6. Winds picked up with gusts reaching 35 k's at Benalla and 33 k's at Yarrawonga. Onto the satellite, a cold front will cross the state later tonight. On the synoptic chart, another cold front will then follow tomorrow as a high pressure system moves from South Australia to New South Wales, extending a ridge across Victoria. Now, a severe weather warning has been issued for damaging winds in parts of the region. Winds averaging 60 to 80 k's with peak gusts of 90 are expected, and up to 120 k's for alpine areas. Winds will briefly ease tomorrow morning, but will redevelop in the afternoon, particularly about those alpine areas. To the forecast now, partly cloudy tomorrow. We've got some patchy morning fog in the north. There's a high chance of showers late in the day, falling as snow above 1,200 metres, and winds will be strong. Bright 3 to 11. Beechworth will start out at 4, jump 10 degrees to 14, Wangaratta 3 to 16 degrees, Corowa 3 to 16 degrees. Now for Albury-Wodonga, a shower or two ahead and a top of 16 degrees, and windy for Melbourne with some showers about, a high of 16, and in Sydney there'll be some lovely sunshine there if you find yourself there. Now in the days ahead, Wednesday is looking cloudy with some morning fog and possible showers late in the day, falling in snow above 1,300 metres. Thursday is looking much the same, and Friday will be overcast with showers late in the day, falling in snow above 1,500 metres and some light winds pushing about. But for now, time to batten down those hatches, Amy.
Well, thank you, Chris. It sounds like a great opportunity to stay inside and watch the Wind Network. We'll see you tomorrow. And thank you for your company tonight on the border and in the northeast this Monday, July 23. That's how we saw your news. We'll see you again at 6 tomorrow night, but stay with us. The project is next. Thanks for watching Win TV. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.